Jeopardy! Please welcome our contestant. Player one. And now, here is the host of Jeopardy, Alex FRIGATE.
Thanks, Johnny. Welcome to Jeopardy, everyone. Good luck to you in the Jeopardy round. For this game, the categories are as follows. Inti Fresh. Celebs. Optical illusions. Electric company. Literature. And religion. All right, let's get back into this. Player one has control of the board. Hue or dye. Player one? Right you are.
Yeah! Woo!
Select again. A thin piece of rigid material to maintain a body part in a fixed position. It's player one. Sorry, that's wrong. Here's the response we were looking for. A splint. Player one, you pick again, please. A short race at full speed. Let's hear it, player one. Good. You've got some money again. Player one, choose again. 5-letter word for gleaming brightness or luster. Player one? Yes. Player one, you pick again, please. To look with the eyes partly closed. Okay, player one. That's correct. Player one, pick again. This Spider-Man and Cider House Rules star is pals with Leonardo DiCaprio. Player one. Good. You get to pick again, player one. In 2010, this talk show hostess replaced Paula Abdul as a judge on American Idol. Here's the response we were looking for. Ellen DeGeneres. You get to pick again, player one. Despite an interruption from Kanye, she won for Best Female Video at the 2009 MTV Video Music Awards. Yes, player one? Ooh, sorry. That's incorrect. Here's the correct response. Taylor Swift. You again, player one. This star of The Princess Diaries and The Devil Wears Prada has the same name as Shakespeare's wife. It's player one. No, that's not right. Here's the correct response. Anne Hathaway. Player one, choose again. She must have been in seventh heaven when her autobiography and I Am Me CDs both reached number one. Here's what we wanted. Ashley Simpson. We return to you, player one. Hope you studied this eye part that at its maximum contraction in an adult may be less than 1 millimeter in diameter. Player one?
Yeah!
Yes. Please pick again, player one. And here's Jimmy.
To allow your eyes to see clearly at varying distances, fibers called the zonules of Zinn change the shape of this eye part that focuses light onto the retina.
Yes, player one? The correct response is lens. Player one, back to you. Don't detach this, which is next to the choroid and changes light rays into neural signals. Okay, player one? Yes. We return to you, player one. Drivers know the point where the optic nerve enters the eye has no rods or cones and goes by this two-word term. Here's what we were looking for. Blind spot. Player 1, you pick again, please. It's the Daily Double. And you have the lead. How much are you going to wager, Player 1? Here is your clue. The sclera and this consist of tough tissues that make up the outer layer of the eyeball and give it strength. Correct. Select again. The world's first public electricity supply was provided in 1881 to a city in this country. It's Player 1. Yep. Player 1, choose again. Using direct current, this U.S. metropolis's first electric supplier was the Pearl Street Power Station in 1882. The correct response is New York City. You get to pick again, Player 1. Still around today, this power company was one of the first 12 companies included in the Dow Jones Industrial Average in 1896. Yes, Player 1? Good. You again, Player 1. Here's some current info. Duke Energy, headquartered in this state, brings electric power to 4 million people. Player 1? That's correct. You get to pick again, Player 1. In 1882, this U.S. inventor opened a steam-powered electricity generating station. Okay, Player 1. Here's the response we were looking for. Thomas Edison. Please pick again, Player 1. His ship was wrecked off an island near South America. He remained alone on the island for 28 years. Here's the correct response. Robinson Crusoe. Player 1, back to you. The Lilliputians called this Jonathan Swift character Quinbus Flestrin, which means Great Man Mountain. Here's the response we were looking for. Gulliver. Player 1, you pick again, please. In a Nathaniel Hawthorne tale, Thomas Moll built a house in Salem with 7 of these. It's Player 1. No. The correct response is Gables. Player 1, pick again. Tom Sawyer told this girl, "I don't care for anybody but you," then gave her a brass knob from an andiron. Yes, Player 1? That is correct. Player 1, pick again. The Ministry of Truth is Oceania's propaganda department in this Orwell classic. We're talking about 1984. You get to pick again, Player 1. As part of Catholic baptism, this word doesn't mean time at the gym, but the casting out of demons. Let's hear it, Player 1. No. Here's what we were looking for. Exorcism. Player 1, back to you for our next selection. Autobiography of a Yogi was a popular book by this religion's first missionary to settle in the U.S. Here's the correct response. Hinduism. Player 1, you pick again, please. The church founded by Mary Baker Eddy in 1879 was formerly called the Church of Christ This. Here's what we wanted. Scientist. Player 1, choose again. At a deer park, Buddha taught the path of this many parts, part of the Four Noble Truths. Player 1? Here's the response we were looking for. 8. Here's the $1,000 clue for you. Let's go over to Jimmy.
The nave, the central part of a cruciform church, ends in this recessed area that is usually vaulted.
Here's the response we were looking for. The apse. The Double Jeopardy round will begin right after this. Let's see what happens in Double Jeopardy with these categories awaiting the players. Fictional characters. Awards and honors. Beekeeping. Our world. All about presidents. And what a gem. All right, if you're ready, it's Double Jeopardy time. This greenish-blue gem is so popular in the Southwest that it has its own museum in Albuquerque. It's player one. No, that's not right. Here's what we wanted. Turquoise. Player one, back to you for our next selection. Also known as chrysoberyl, when cut a certain way, this gem produces a streak of light resembling the pupil of a certain animal. Here's the correct response. Cat's eye. Player one, choose again. Often a lemony color, this variety of quartz has a name derived from the type of fruit that a lemon is. The correct response is citrine. Player one, back to you for our next selection. Silent screen star Mary Pickford bequeathed the Star of Bombay, a 182-carat one of these gems, to the Smithsonian. Here's what we were looking for. Sapphire. You get to pick again, player one. Utah's official state gem is this stone that's often golden, but can be pink or blue. Here's the response we were looking for. Topaz. Player one, back to you. JFK took his oath of office on a Bible that these people, his mother's family, had brought with them from Ireland. Let's hear it, player one. That's not it. We're talking about the Fitzgeralds. Player one, pick again. As a teenager in the 1880s, he played the helicon in the Marion People's Band in Marion, Ohio. Here's the correct response. Warren Harding. Player one, choose again. He was the only member of Washington's cabinet who went on to become president. Here's what we were looking for. Thomas Jefferson. Please pick again, player one. Answer. The first of the two daily doubles. You are in first place. How much are you going to wager, player one? All right, here's your clue. He was the second to die as the result of assassination. Yeah, good. Player one, pick again. He was number 13. Let's hear it, player one. Right.
Yeah! Woo!
Select again. A dishonest or unprincipled man, or one of the X-Men. It's player one. Right you are. Select again. What the Brits call a Macintosh isn't an apple, but one of these. Player one. Ooh, sorry. That's in. Here's the correct response. A raincoat. Player one, you pick again, please. In the movies, it was Charles Foster Kane's cryptic final word. Here's what we were looking for. Rosebud. Player one, choose again. Answer. The other daily double. And you're in the lead now. Player one, please select your wager. Here is your clue. The Oxford English Dictionary defines it as A noisy dispute or quarrel. Ooh, sorry. But here's what we wanted. A row. Player one, back to you for our next selection. All right, here with the clue is Sarah.
Similar to a root, it's a botanical term for a thick stem from which shoots develop into new plants.
The correct response is
Rhizome.
you again, player one. This term for a group of bees refers specifically to the group that flies from the hive to form a new colony. Let's hear it, player one. Good.
Yeah! Woo!
You again, player one. Drones don't sting, and queens only sting other queens. So only worry about these bees, 95% of a hive's population. Player one? That is correct. Player one, you pick again, please. Honey is produced by the evaporation of this drink of the gods that bees collect from flowers and then regurgitate. Yes, player one? Good. Player one, you pick again, please. Glands on a bee's abdomen convert the sugar in honey to this building material. Okay, player one. Right. Player one, back to you. A major concern for beekeepers is CCD, this disorder. Player one?
Yeah!
That is correct. You again, player one. People who need Peabodys envy her for the Peabody Award she won for her 1994 HBO concert. Here's the response we were looking for. Barbra Streisand. Select again. This actor dedicated his American Beauty Oscar to his friend Jack Lemmon, who had inspired him. The correct response is Kevin Spacey. Player one, choose again. For the musical Sunset Boulevard, Hugh Jackman won 2 Mo Awards, equivalent to the Tonys, in this his native country. Here's the correct response. Australia. Select again. The JFK Profile in Courage Award is modeled after a lantern from this frigate built in 1790s Boston. The correct response is the Constitution. Player one, choose again. Washington, D.C.'s theater awards are named for this First Lady of the American Theater. Here's what we were looking for. Helen Hayes. You again, player one. In The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, Lucy gets into an old wardrobe and discovers this magical land. Player one?
Yeah!
You get to pick again, player one. Snip, Snap, and Snurr, who star in a series of books, are brothers from this Scandinavian country. Here's the correct response. Sweden. Please pick again, player one. In the grim tale, The 12 Dancing Princesses, 12 sisters dance so much that they wear out these every night. It's player one. Correct. We return to you, player one. This orphan befriends a goatherd named Peter when she's sent to live with her grandfather in the Swiss Alps. Here's the correct response. Heidi. And the last clue for $2,000. She's the title heroine of Green Gables in a classic 1908 book. Here's the response we were looking for. Anne. Good game. I'll see you for Final Jeopardy in a moment. Consider your wagers carefully as you think on this category. Organizations. Please enter your wager. Now, let's reveal the Final Jeopardy clue. In 2003, Allied Command Europe and Allied Command Atlantic, parts of this organization, merged. Let's see your response. And this correct response will add how much to your score? This makes you our new champion, Player One, so congratulations. So long.